Let's bring in Thane Rosenbaum. He is a legal analyst for CBS News Radio, a columnist for the Jewish Journal of Los Angeles, and a distinguished professor of law at Touro Law School. And of course, he still has time to come on to talk to us tonight. Imagine that. Thane, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. From a legal standpoint, how much fight does President Trump really have left at this point after a week of ups and downs?
Well, Tom, thank you. Look, the president's legal team all along has been aiming for the Supreme Court. So even though there was yet another devastating defeat in Pennsylvania now in the Third Circuit, this was not unexpected. And the case, the Pennsylvania case, was essentially before the Supreme Court even before the election. So there are some constitutional questions that the Trump team has always wanted the Supreme Court to weigh upon. So some of these losses are not unexpected, and actually they were welcome because they wanted to expedite a petition before the Supreme Court. There was one that was still sitting with the Supreme Court dealing with the constitutionality of extending the deadlines, and then these cases now present other issues related to equal protection that the Supreme Court might take seriously because equal protection was the argument in Bush v. Gore.
Right. Thane, let me ask you, though, given the pretty scathing Court of Appeals decision written by a Trump appointee, do you think that the court is likely to take the campaign's appeal? The court said that what the campaign pleaded was not outcome determinative, and it would be unprecedented for them to take the type of step to offer the relief sought. Do you think that there's a chance here that the court doesn't take the case at this point?
There is. Again, Justice Alito was the one who told Pennsylvania, segregate the ballots. Okay? He told them. He was told them for a reason. Justice Kavanaugh, in an earlier case in dealing with, I think it was Wisconsin, also was talking about the constitutionality of the mail-in ballots procedure that was all done without state legislator approval, right? It was all done either by courts or state local election officials. So again, I don't know what the appetite is for the Supreme Court, but I think there's two things going on, and we're not acknowledging two truths that can exist at the same time. One is that we clearly, in order to deal with the pandemic, relax the standards for absentee mail-in balloting, whether it came to verification or the application for ballots or curing the ballots or overlooking the defects. We did. And so, I think when you're talking about tens of millions of ballots, there probably are some discrepancies. This is not a question of fraud, Tom. I thought the president made a mistake in just always focusing on fraud.
Right.
Just the reality that when you're talking about a country that never dealt with tens of millions of ballots, and since most of those ballots all went to Joe Biden, there were probably going to be some reconciliation discrepancies. But at the same time, and this is the key thing that the Supreme Court may not care about, one of the things you're hearing from all of these judges, Tom, is they're all saying, even if what you're saying is true, even though I don't think you have substantial proof, do you want me to undo, decertify, delegitimize tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of voters? Right. And remember, we're talking about four key urban areas: Milwaukee, Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia. They have large African-American populations.
Yeah.
This is a country that had slavery, Jim Crow. We just had a summer of Black Lives Matter. You can understand why some of these judges are saying, do you want me to get involved in this? I don't.
Professor Rosenbaum, I got to leave it there, but we appreciate that analysis. Thane Rosenbaum, legal analyst for CBS News Radio and a distinguished professor of law at Touro College. Thank you for being our guest tonight.
Thank you, Tom.